Welcome to the People Chronicles. I'm Jackie Hoffman, and we give you folks who are listening or watching a chance to share your story on the People Chronicles. It's a platform of community storytelling, and today we have with us Steve Smith. Thanks for coming along.
Well, thank you, Jackie. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and to share my story.
Do you have one story or two stories or many stories?
Well, there are many stories, but we'll keep it to a few.
Okay. Well, we're going to start out with the question that we ask all of our guests that come in here, and that is, what would you like people to learn from your story today?
I think it's a really important topic that probably surrounds a lot of the things that you read in the newspaper, and that is the power of the community. We have a fairly new stage of our business. My wife and I have a business, and it wasn't until we made this latest jump in the development of our business that we found we really needed to reach out to the community, and we realized at the time that we had a very pointed mission for the business and that it was really intended to benefit the community. In our case, it's dogs as well as the people that have their dogs. And if that mission is true, and you live that mission, and it's for the benefit of the community, it doesn't become selfish. That community is there to bring you and your business and your dream to life. And it's just every day is a pleasure to do that.
And what did it take for you to understand that this is what you needed to do?
It took probably, we're now there at the new location almost 18 months. And about a year ago, I stopped what was my previous train of thought and realized if I just stop and let go and realize that there are so many people and so many ways that the community will be there to support us because we're there for them, the community has a vested interest in seeing us succeed. And so it turns full circle, and we found so many opportunities through things that came to us that we had no idea in the beginning were going to be there, whether it's employees, clients, ideas for our business. As the community came to us, we gave back to them, they give back to us. So I needed to realize it is not all mine to do. We have wonderful people working with us and trust them in what they do. We chose them appropriately, let them do it. The clients have ideas, we take on some of those ideas. And it has been a wonderful, successful, and very passion-filled business for my wife and I. And
Are you from the Berks County area?
Yes. I was born and raised in the heart of the Ole Valley. I love it there.
Interesting.
I moved to up the hill a little bit to Limekiln, then all the way to Fleetwood. So
all the way to Fleetwood.
Yeah.
This is interesting because I happen to be a dog lover, and I get to learn a little bit about your business and how you share with the community and what it is that they do for you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
We have a business that has our mission statement stated as we're dedicated to creating harmony between dogs and the people that keep them. Sometimes they're the owners, sometimes it's foster care, sometimes it's rescue missions. But to understand, we try to help people understand that that dog has something to communicate to us. It has a need from us, and we probably would have a need of something that the dog could offer back to us. And to close the gap in communication is really the technical part of our business, and the fruits of that labor are to see people take on work such as fostering other animals, work in the Humane Society or other rescue businesses, help other people with their animals, and to do it in a kind, gentle way that is with dignity, care, and safeness for the animal. You know, to choose a style of training and communication that really benefits both ends of the leash is critical to us.
And where did your love for all of this come from, for putting people and their animals together with communication and the community? Where did that come from? How did you get this started? Why did you want to do it?
It started in about 2003. My wife had spent 25 years in another form of business. It was professional theater work. And it was a challenging way for her to continue in business. And I said to her one day, well, if you wanted to do anything, absolutely anything, forget the money, forget the technical part or the hows. How would you do this? How would you do that? What would you do every day if you wanted to wake up? I was like, live your dream. What would it be? And she said, I'd like to do something with dogs, potentially train them. So long story short, she became certified. I became certified. We took on another dog, was very new to us, who is still with us today, a darling boy named Dooley. Shortly after, another darling girl named Claudia. And we realized that some of the training that we went through with them early on wasn't what we felt was the best way. Over time, we became very much aware of the positive reinforcement training methods. we saw other people really hooking into that idea and realized how much that opens the line of communication between the animal and the person. And so for that reason, we wanted to make our business and the way that we continue to do work, earn money eventually, is to close that gap and make our business that passion. And for her, she had worked with people, teaching them for many years, whether it be performing or teaching in schools. And so being in front of people, trying to share ideas, which might be new to them, and a lot of questions that are unprompted, she became very good at doing that, and then I consequently learned also how to do that. But she was the forerunner in all of this idea for us.
But I like how you approach the question. If you could do anything,
that's really the truth. That's not. That's some. It sounds kind of cliche, but that was truly how it went down. And now we look back at it and go, "Wow, that was almost 10 years ago now." And where we started and where we are today has been continually supported by the community, other businesses, other people that had ideas like we did. When those ideas are put out there for the benefit of the community, they find each other. There's not a lot of work you need to do. They're naturally attracted to each other, and that's what's amazing to me. And that's why I say, if people have an idea and you want to make it your passion, or it is your passion and you want to make it your business, or you have a dream, don't think you need to do this alone. We came up with a business plan that had a way to jump from the small business to the business we have today, which is much more reaching. And we didn't have enough capital, cash, or ideas to do it. And when we put that out there, those things found us, which was very amazing. And it sounds, like I said, kind of cliche. Now there's things called Kickstarter, and you can learn your chops on a lot of different business plans on how to do that. But they have been there to support us from the beginning, and they're still there today. We have new people walking in the door every day that say, "This is a great idea. Let's do this." And so we say, "Okay, well, maybe that is a good possibility."
So where did you find the encouragement to know that it was going to be okay and not be a failure? Did you have a fear of failure with having a business?
See, therein lies the hook. Yeah, it was their fear of failure. I think my wife will probably be very quick to say, sometimes he doesn't think things out very well. But if I had every answer and had to wait till I had every answer and to be sure of everything, I'd still be sitting at square one. And the people that have worked around me can often attest to the idea that he's going for it, and it might be a better answer, but waiting 3 weeks to find the perfect one is going to lose the opportunity. And so that goes back to a phrase that was shared with me one time. Former employer said to me, "Luck is really defined by the crossing of opportunity and preparation." And so when you can see the opportunity and you're prepared, or half prepared, maybe a little more than half would be wise, and you seize that moment, that is being lucky. And so being lucky is really, I think, partly being skilled at saying, I can't be afraid to fail. And I honestly think that when it comes to failure, if an idea doesn't work, if you have an idea, it's a good idea. Your way of getting there might have failed, but don't give up on the idea. So maybe what I did to get me where I am, I succeeded, and that was through good planning and good support. But the idea would have kept me on that track, and another way may have been found if I would have failed. But in terms of failure, that is not an opportunity. That is not an option. I don't take that as an option at all.
That's a great way to look at it. And the People Chronicles is based upon community storytelling and the community involvement. And when you talk about how the community is involved, what is it that people do not know out there that you want people to know how they can help businesses? What is it that you want to see more of?
Wow, that's a tough question.
Because you're talking so much about, that you have their involvement, and there are still people that say, what can I do? How can I help? And what would you like to see?
I think one of the most challenging things for us to cross that threshold that we did was to have the guts and the determination to ask, to just simply ask. And, to make a long story short, when we needed to move into the next phase of business, we did not have the money. And we gathered our friends together and said, here's an idea. Will you support us financially? For which we basically raised investors. And it took guts to stand up in front of 55 families and say, can we have some of your money? And they believed in our mission and our statement. And they said, let's do it. Many of them were clients, friends, family, etc. And some of them are now employees. and it worked. But taking that risk to say, I'm going to ask for help, I'm going to ask for education, I'm going to ask for community support. There's people out there that will support a mission if you're passionate about it and it's not selfish. If it's all directed here, you might be all on your own, and you might succeed, but you won't find the support as when you reach out with a community-based business like ours is. So
Right.
asking is the challenge. Have the guts and the humbleness to say, I need help. And it's out there.
You've piqued my interest so much. We're going to take a short break, and when we do come back, I'll find the answers that I want to know, and maybe how my Bo and Clara can be a part of what you have
good.
to offer in the community.
Are they here today?
They're not here.
See, bring your dog to work day.
You
Should
know,
be
they're
every
not
day.
the best dogs in the world. They are a bit of a challenge.
Notice mine aren't here either. So.
So when we come back with Steve Smith on the People Chronicles.